Look, I can only give you the blueprint, but I cannot put the work in for you. The blueprint is specifically for you to build upon. So when someone gives you a blueprint, it's your duty and responsibility to run it up. Now, most of you get the blueprint and then you fail to put in the work. So what the fuck was the point of gaining the blueprint if you weren't going to apply that to your highest of efficiency to ensure that that blueprint comes into fruition? You receive the blueprint and then you fail to commit to the blueprint. Now, I can give you the workout routine that's going to get you big. I can give you the macro count that is going to get you big. I can give you the self-development community with all the information of everything you need to simplify everything. But it's you as the individual who has received all this to apply it to its due diligence. And so when you receive the blueprint and you fail to commit and you fail to put in the work required to make that blueprint come into fruition, you have to understand that you can receive everything that you need to get something done, and you are the type of individual to be lazy and to fail. And so that means that you can have the materials to build something magnificent for yourself, and you will be the type of individual to wake up and choose to fail. You can receive the blueprint, and when you receive the blueprint, you're going to choose to commit to not running it up. And so that's where you have to reflect on your character and who the fuck you are. Because when you wake up and you have this blueprint and all the information that is going to lead you down the path needed to make this a success, you have everything you could fucking need. You have everything simplified. You have all the information. You have everything set up for you. The only thing you need to do is do it. And you fail at the one thing that you need to do, which is the action. And so this is where we look at your character and we can see the deficits within your being. You are lazy. There's something within your mind that is keeping you at a low level. You don't have the intention to wake up and reimburse yourself and amplify your existence through the work you need to put in. You guys receive the blueprint, you receive the setup, you receive the information, and then you fail to commit to the action that is going to get you the result you intended to gain by receiving the blueprint, receiving the information, and receiving the setup. And so the macros, the workout, the information, the blueprint, the entire blueprint for building your best, becoming in the best shape for you, you fail to apply that. And so that goes to show what type of character you are internally. And so if you're going to sit there and you're going to have this blueprint and you're going to fail to commit to it, you're going to skip days, you're going to skip macro counts, and you're going to skip workouts, well, that just shows who the fuck you are. And we don't need to sit here and hold you accountable, because deep in your soul, you know that you received the blueprint. Deep in your soul, you know you received a perfect setup. Deep in your soul, you know that you have received everything to get the job done, and yet you chose to fail, because everything is a choice. And if you're going to choose to fail, well, you're going to have to recognize that. You're going to have to hold that within yourself, and you're going to have to walk around knowing that you had everything you needed and failed. And so when you receive everything that you need to build something else, well, you'll see that the pattern continues, the cycle continues. You never broke the negative habits or the negative qualities within yourself to decimate what is keeping you at a low level. And so these things are going to be a recurring theme in your life. When you have an opportunity and all you have to do is take the right action and commit to it, you will see that when you receive everything you need, the perfect blueprint, you will fail to the commitment, you will fail to the action. You will fail to take the strides you need to take to make that a success. And so this is why you have to truly reflect on the qualities within yourself, because they are reflecting externally through your behavior. So when I say your internal world is your internal compass, you have to understand that the path, the blueprint that I'm giving you is to make the internal world within yourself better so you behave at a higher level. And when I say behave, I mean the way you act as an individual, and not quote unquote social behavior, but What do you do when you're by yourself? Are you a productive individual? Are you a slow individual? Are you a lazy individual? This is all reflective in the internal qualities that are reflecting externally into your behavior. And so when we give you the blueprint, the point is to eradicate all the lower qualities and ascend in degrees to higher qualities of self, and then to reflect that through your behavior. And so when you never miss a fucking day, right, the physical mastery is just elevating to a level where you have now mastered your mind and you have now mastered discipline. You guys are chasing the body, you guys are chasing the validation, but the entire point of this workout, of this blueprint, of this program is to ensure that you never miss a day. You commit to your growth, and you will see through the discipline that you cultivate, the internal quality that you will cultivate and culminate through the daily action that is required to fulfill this blueprint. You will see that your behavior as an individual will begin to change. You will transform and elevate beyond your current threshold, beyond your current level of dwelling, because you will see within yourself that you will be more disciplined. Not only will you be more fit, but your room will be cleaner. Not only will your room will be cleaner, but your dishes will be washed. And these little things, you have to understand that little things compound into bigger things. And so you might be thinking, oh, but, who gives a fuck? And, that is a horrible mindset to have, because you should give a fuck about yourself at the highest level. And so if you're not going to execute your daily existence and the things that pertain to it at the highest level, well, you're not going to be operating at the highest level every day. If you are not an organized individual, well, how the fuck can we give you something more to be organized with? You have to understand that the little things are going to lead to the bigger things. And if you can't execute a simple blueprint that has everything needed within that blueprint for you to execute it at a high level, all you have to do is take action. For you not to take that action just goes to show who you are. And so if you're going to fail to commit to the best version of you, well, you're going to have to walk around and hold that into your mind. You're going to have to picture that image of you remaining a low-level bitch for the rest of your life. And that is not our problem. That is not our problem to solve. That is your problem, and that is what you're going to have to walk around with until you realize that the commitment to the better version of you through the blueprint, you failing to commit is just showing who you are and rendering yourself inferior to the version of you who would have got it done. There's a version within you who would never miss, but you are not that version, and that's a very big problem for you, because if you receive any other blueprint within your life, well, the cycle continues in this recurring theme of being a lazy piece of shit. You're going to adhere to that, and then it's going to manifest through your behavior, because you have these internal qualities that will reflect externally and then emanate from within your mind into the outer world, and you will see that you will fail at not just this blueprint, but every blueprint. So do yourself a favor and ask yourself, what are you committed to? Peace!